My name is Gary Hargens. I was born and raised on a farm in Miller, South Dakota. Came out to the Black Hills in 1985, attended the School of Mines, obtained a degree in electrical engineering, and I've been worked at the School of Mines for quite a few years, and until the Journey Museum opened, and then I started working there, and I've been there since the day we opened just over 11 years ago. The main reason I'm running for office is to represent more of a cross-section of the people who actually live and work out here. I work a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week usually, and I supplement that income by playing in a band, and I think that pretty much is representative of most people in Rapid City in South Dakota, where you have to work more than one job just to make ends meet. And so I just feel that it's a good representation of everyone, and that's why I'm running for office, to represent you there. What do I hope to accomplish? I would like to be a force of change that would bring about the end to partisan politics. It doesn't make a difference if it's a Democrat-sponsored bill or a Republican-sponsored bill. If it's a good bill, it's a good bill, and it should be passed. It shouldn't be nitpicking and arguments. If it's a good bill, let's move on to the next one and get the job done. What will make you a good legislator? I've been around, I think in all the years that I've been working, I have yet to come across a person that I cannot work with or I do not get along with. I'm easy to work with, I'm a hard worker, and I just hope that that is what we need in Pierre, is someone to work hard and work with everybody to get the job done. There is a pot of money in Pierre, and that pot of money only has so much, and you have to divvy that up. You keep hearing about how they have to increase funding in education, but nobody wants to increase taxes on South Dakota citizens, and that's fine. And I've had some people come up to me and say, well, how about a state income tax? And if you think you could pass that through the voters of South Dakota, you're crazy. That's not going to happen. But Rapid City has a tourism tax added on. It's a bed and booze tax. So working at the Journey Museum, we charge a tourism tax. With the tourism tax and the city sales tax and all that, it comes out to 8%. And part of that is a tourism tax. And maybe this wouldn't work. But what if you had a half-cent increase in your tourism tax? But if you are a resident of South Dakota, you wouldn't have to pay it. Just the out-of-state visitors would have to pay that, and that half-cent sales tax would go to education. Maybe it wouldn't work, but the fact of the matter is everybody keeps pounding on this education, but nobody's thinking outside the box to bring things in. Education, I think the local school districts maybe could look at some ways to help out, and not necessarily taking away funding from one area and giving it to another, but there are parents who will drive 400 miles to Sioux Falls to watch their kids in extracurricular activities. Is it possible to have a $50 yearly fee to help cover the maintenance and transportation costs of the buses, and the money saved there goes back to the teachers? I think there's a lot of things we could do. They should not, I would not support a bill. They should not be allowed to refuse or write the prescriptions. To me, this is a double standard. You're telling me because of your religious belief, I'm not going to dispense a drug. But if I don't hire you because of that, you're going to turn around and sue me because I didn't hire you based on your religious beliefs. It's a double standard, and it's not right. I guess the first thing, being a first-time legislator, would be to listen to the Native Americans. They're going to have probably a better idea how they can improve their economy than I would. So I would listen to their ideas first and work with them. I think the one tremendous area of economic opportunity they have is wind power, wind-generated power that they could right there on the reservations, especially if you've been to lower rural Crow Creek. You're on the slopes of the Missouri River. The the wind is going all over the place along the river. Plus, there's just a lot of wind in this state. But I think if you look at Keeley radio station, they just recently put up a brand new wind turbine to power their radio station, and it's saving them tens of thousands of dollars a year. Well, if you can develop that power on the reservation and sell that energy to either the state or out of state, I think that is probably one opportunity that should be investigated right away. The biggest industry in western South Dakota right now is tourism, and the governor's 2010 initiative for tourism, I think, is an outstanding program. I've been with tourism the last 11 years, and there are a lot of people that are coming from the East Coast that were not coming here before. So more money towards tourism, more advertising dollars to bring those folks out here. By prosperity, if you mean bringing higher wages to western South Dakota, I believe there's a huge problem, and that problem is to get those businesses who work here to not fight companies that want to come in and bring a higher wage, because they're afraid that they have to raise their wages to keep their employees. The fact of the matter is, if you and I make more money at our job, what do we do with it? We usually go out and spend it. We're not much of a saving society, really. We're kind of wasteful. So if I get an extra $500, I'm going to go buy myself a brand new guitar. And that money is just going to continue to funnel through the system and become prosperous that way. Somehow we've got to change this notion that we've got to keep wages low to attract these companies in, because then they'll come in because we work for cheap. We've got to change that.